So yeah, I'm almost 63 years old, and I cannot honestly say that I've lived a life without regrets, and that I've lived a life without second guessing some of my decisions. I've made a lot of decisions over the last 63 years that, when I look at them, I thought, how would it be if I hadn't made that decision? And you come to the realization that that's all life is a series of decisions, good, bad, and otherwise. Is that better lighting? Yeah, that's better lighting. Okay. Let me face these. Anyway, I've been in Missouri since 19 or 20. Right when COVID hit. Right when they started the COVID shutdown. I never called it a pandemic. It was always a panic-demic. It was always shot up to be more than it was. There was a lot of people making money that already had money, hands over feet. But I'm at that stage in my life where, for all intents and purposes, I've got my last full-time job. When this job ends, or I walk away or get laid off or whatever, I'm just go through retirement. Because, yeah, that's my age. Oh, get the cows watered, get the hay. I've got them hay. I've got the pig fed. The missus fed the cats. And I fed the chicken. Yeah, I think we got the animals pretty much taken care of. So it's a little chilly this morning. Got smoke coming out my chimney, so my stove must be working. Yeah. I have fence snapping. That's always a thing. This poor little fence here just doesn't get as much maintenance as it should. I've got a mean ass cow in there. She wants to chase you around with her little one horn. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just not feeling it. That's exactly sure where it's snapping at. But that's going to be a chore for today, I guess, is chasing that down and trying to fix that. But I got a lot of things to be thankful for, people. If you watch my introduction video, then I did 10 years in prison. I've been out since 2000, so this is 25. And other than a little old bullshit charge I got a couple of years ago, I've not committed any crimes. Because of my past, it don't take anything for me to get a new charge. They just all they do is write failure to comply on a piece of paper, and there you are. That's all it takes. So, I don't know where their habitual offender clause is or what it is in Missouri, but it wouldn't take but one or two of those, and they'd just lock me up for the rest of my life. I don't even have to do anything wrong. I just had to do something wrong on paper. Oh, this would be life. I got to turn the water off. Yeah, when I got a failure to comply, I hadn't been in Missouri very long. And apparently in Missouri, any car I drive, I have to have on their paperwork that I drive it. And I wasn't aware of that. It was cars I thought I owned. Well, Missouri, it's a trap. But I got through it. And it got what they wanted. They wanted me to have a new charge so that it'd be 25 years before I come up for review. I'm never coming up for review. So I'm always going to be doing that. I'm always going to be on that little piece of paper for them. Living out here in the country, so if I get laid off tomorrow, then, well, I just be out here in the country. Drop a little Social Security, a little 401k, and live out here. Pay off what I can and go from there. But I'm not going to get laid off anytime soon. We're in the industry that it's always going to be there. There's always going to be people throwing away trash. There's always going to be coal in the ground. So there's always going to be, we're always going to have a job building this equipment to process methane gas, to clean up the atmosphere. So anyway, I have a lot to be grateful for, a lot to be thankful for, and it's a beautiful life I have. I have my complaints, and I have my moments where I just say, but, I've had my life. 10 years I was in the box, and every single thing that I do, literally every single thing I do now, and for the last 25 years, I did them. I didn't do it because it was issued to me. I didn't do it because some man told me I had to do it. Some government official that you got to do it or else, So that's freedom. The United States is one of the freest countries in the world. We coming home yesterday, I guess it was. We was talking about, the Bill of Rights. The United States, I believe, is the only country with the Bill of Rights to the extent that we have a Bill of Rights. They stole my right to bear arms, because I'm an ex-con. So, I'll never be an ex. I'll always be an ex-con, no matter what. To be honest, I've never owned a pistol in my life, never owned a rifle. I've only shot one long rifle that was 22. So I've never had a gun, and I've never had my hands on a gun, never used a gun in the commission of any crime. But back in the 30s, or whenever they was fighting the mafia and the the shine runners, the federal government said, they did bigger guns than we have. They shouldn't have guns because, So they passed a law saying if you're ex-con, you are not allowed to have a gun. So there we go. All people talking about how they're trying to take away our Second Amendment rights and everything, our right to bear arms. And, they've been chipping at that, people, forever. Ever since it was put in place, there's been a group that said, no, we got to get that out. And it was too late. They got it in. So here we are. But I have the right to free speech. That's why I can sit here, hold a phone, and talk to you, and make a video, share my opinion with the world. And that's why you have the right to make comments on my videos. And that's why you have the right to make your own videos. That's why you have the right to, step out of your house and walk down the driveway. Neighbor could, whatever. You have the right to say that. But I have matured to the point that I understand that my Bill of Rights are only apply to public spaces and my own personal property. Once I step into a government building, I have no rights. I am under their control. Whether I'm in jail or in the courthouse or in the tax office, I'm in their building, their space, and it's their rights. So it could be hotly contested, I guess, but that's just the way I feel about it. And again, it's my opinion. But, we got a lot of things going on in this country. Some things I just look at and say, that ain't right. But this is our constitutional right. And we are blessed that we live in this country with those rights. I am blessed that I can carry keys in my pocket and that I can take a job that I want, that I choose, that we live in a right to work, basically country, free will. We could do that. That's what the United States is about. So I got 300 subscribers in my videos, and every one of you are a blessing to my life. I only puts me about 700 away from their magic number. So, I just keep aiming for their magic number, and someday I might get there. But, anyway, I've talked for 10 minutes. I've fed the animals. My hands are cold, and I think I'm gonna go in the house and chill. Funny, I'm already chilling. I think I'll go in the house and warm up. Peace, guys.